Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and please forgive me today as I've had about only 10 sips of coffee. That's why my voice is about 3 octaves deeper than usual. So I will be caffeinating while I'm recording this. So when I start down a weird path, give me some grace, people. Give me some grace. All right, here's the thing. You guys fall into one of 3 categories. 1, you are a coach and you know you're good at it and you claim it, you know you care. Category 2 is you're a coach, but you're not sure what it means to be a great coach or even a good coach, but you do care. You have really good intentions and integrity around it. But there's that little doubt in you, like, am I really good at what I do? Am I really going to be able to get people results? And the third category is those of you who are going right now, I shouldn't have even pressed play on this episode because I'm not a coach. I'm an entrepreneur, or I do this, or I work for a corporation, or I'm a doctor, or whatever. Newsflash, we are all coaches. Coach is just a fun word for teacher, for educator, for mentor. You're all a coach. If you're a mom, if you're a dad, if you're an aunt, you're an uncle, you're a grandparent, you're a coach. If you're someone who works in nonprofit and charity, like how I dedicate my time to mentoring my girls who have been pulled off the streets from sex trafficking. And I'm doing it for free. That's mentoring. It's coaching. That's all the word mentoring is really, it is a free version, right, of coaching, of guiding, of holding that space. And yes, I'm also a top business coach. So yes, I do coach for, getting paid. So I just want you guys to reframe that mindset. If you're in corporate America, you're an employee, you're in management, like when I was in management in pharmaceuticals, damn right I was a coach. If you're in network marketing and you're building your network marketing team, well, all you network marketers are always building it. But whatever level you're at, you could be at like whatever, all those crazy names they have, like super diamond, triple plus backflip level. Whatever level you're at, in network marketing and affiliate marketing, you're a coach. You're a coach. You are teaching, you are guiding, you are assisting, you are encouraging, you are empowering people. So this episode is for everyone, is my point. It's going to make you a better coach, a better educator, a better teacher, all around, whether you're doing it in exchange for money or you're doing it in your life for free. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And there are some people, probably the old Tiffany, like the 1.0 Tiffany, if I saw this episode title, I might have gone, oh God, I just want to hear about how to make money, how to get more clients, right? And how to make more money doing this, because I love doing it. And I think I'm pretty good at it. And I know I care. So I just want to know how to make more money doing that. Well, I have episodes on that, so you can go look at those. But here's why it's so important to always improve your craft, whatever position you're in. Because you improving your craft, your coaching skills, your leadership skills, your guidance skills, your mentoring skills, your teaching skills, that is only going to make you more money in the long run and even in the short term, because you're going to get better results for those that you serve. You're going to get better testimonials, which in turn is going to just up your confidence, up your mindset. And then guess what? You get great results for people. You're going to get referrals. So a lot of my coaching clients, especially my higher level clients, because I work with two different types of entrepreneurs. You're either making $0, like you're starting from scratch. So you're making $0 to under $10,000 a month consistently. So that's a new entrepreneur. Or I work with established entrepreneurs who are making at minimum consistently $10,000 a month all the way to multiple seven figures a month. So I mean, it's a pretty big gamut of people that I work with. Is gamut a word? It sounds really powerful when I say it, but it could be a made up Tiffany word. Feel free to let me know, because I don't know. And guess what? Zero fucks given. And I'm doing that without coffee. Okay. So my point in saying that is I get a lot of referrals, especially for my higher level entrepreneurs who are generating a lot of money because of the results I get. I get great results, obviously, for new entrepreneurs as well. But I get most of you guys who are newer, who are really trying to at least, get to that first six-figure mark. Most of you guys come through the podcast or come through Instagram, most of you. And then people who are more established, I get on referrals. Well, I wouldn't get referrals if I didn't do a damn great job. And in order for me to do a damn great job, it's not just because I have coached more than 1,500 people privately and tens of thousands in group settings. It's not just because I've done it a long time. It's because I'm humble enough to consistently improve my craft. And I want to share with you also what's important, and it's consistently improving myself and my mindset. There's a direct correlation. So where I see coaches go sideways, where you're not getting those great results, like I know you guys who are into coaching of any kind see this. Like you follow people who are, you could technically call them competitors, or other people who are doing something similar to you, or their niche or their industry is similar. And it could be fitness, health, whatever. And you're seeing them like get these raving testimonials like, my body's never felt so good. This is the leanest I've ever been. And you're like, oh my God, I've like maybe only got that result for one person, or I've never gotten these great tangible results. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Am I not as great as I think I am? Or maybe I need to know more. Like, why are they getting those results? I've had that thought. I've had that thought before I even started ProjectME about a couple years ago. I had obviously already been coaching for many years, but not having a personal brand around it. It was more executive coaching, higher level coaching in the corporate world, working with a lot of healthcare professionals, vice presidents, that kind of thing. And I did do some, small business owner coaching as well, but not so much like the solopreneur, so to speak, as that term is a thing now. I mean, I wish that term was a thing when I first started. It would have been so validating. I mean, if you were an entrepreneur 12 years ago, especially as a woman, you were crackers. I mean, you've lost your damn mind, especially if you left a lucrative, prestigious corporate career to do it. You've really lost your mind. I mean, even just hearing that there's like a hashtag solopreneur, that would have helped me feel a little better. Anyway, I digress. So where the hell was I going with this? See, this is the problem when I record without coffee. Hold on. I'm gathering my thoughts. We're going to get there. I wish we could play like some kind of music where it was like, this is the music when Tiffany lost her train of thoughts and then she's getting back. I have no idea where I was going with it. So we're just going to go forward. But you have to keep refining your craft. If you get to a point where you think like, oh, I know my shit, blah, 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 then let me tell you something. You're not being humble and you're going to get whacked and it's not going to be pretty. I know where I was going. So you guys see all these great testimonials. They're really specific. And, I've, working with Tiffany, I made, I got my first client in 30 days. I've never made this much money before. Those, I know you want those. We all want those. So when I first started exploring this personal brand space, thank God I got my train of thought back. Lord have mercy. I was seeing, I was looking at other people who were, business coaches, who had been doing it for many years. And I was seeing these insane testimonials. And I was like, well, I have I could get, really great testimonials over the years like that. But it seemed like they had one after another. And I was like, not all my testimonials are like that. Right. And it kind of started making me go, damn, well, I know I'm good. Like I know I'm good also because I get a lot of referrals, right? That's a great way to know if you're good. And it's like, I know I'm good and I get a lot of referrals and I know how much I care, but holy shit. It was that comparisonitis, right? Like maybe I need to get my clients to write better testimonials. That's one fun little extra bonus here is that you have to actually guide a lot of your clients to give you the testimonials you want. And I don't mean lying or anything, but people don't know how to write a testimonial. The only thing most of us know how to write is when we're pissed off when we write a negative review on Yelp or Amazon, right? Most of us don't know how to really write a testimonial or what the person's looking for. So I tell my clients now, please, if you would write a testimonial about your experience coaching with me and include specifics and tangibles, anything that you can add a number to, that would be great. And the longer the better, because we can always cut it down if necessary. So now I'm really specific and now I get better testimonials with those specifics. So make sure you ask for what you want. And you can also even give them an example. I'll send you an example of a great testimonial. This makes people feel better. It doesn't make them feel like, oh, I have to give a testimonial like this. It makes them feel better because people want to please you. And they want to know, what you consider to be good because they had a good experience with you and they want to be of service and give back to you and show their appreciation. So it's also why show my 5-star iTunes podcast reviews, which if you haven't written one yet, that's very lame, especially because I treat you to a coffee drink of your choice or smoothie just for taking 90 seconds to do it. And it's lame that you've not showed your gratitude for the show. Just saying. But I share, often in my Instagram stories, the podcast reviews, because then it gives you an idea of what I consider to be a great podcast review enough to feature it on my Instagram. So you need to do that with your clients. And I don't give a shit if you're brand new and you have 2 people that you're doing nutrition coaching for free, right? You're doing it. You might be doing it for free. You're doing it in exchange for a in a testimonial to to kind of work out the kinks and stuff like that. It's kind of like how restaurants have a soft opening. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but and clubs do the same thing. They have a soft opening where it's friends, people who are, in management, publicity, family members come in, but people who are going to give unbiased, feedback. And so that they can work out the kinks versus opening it to the public. And then God forbid you have someone from the local newspaper there. And they're like, oh my God, my waitress was a hot mess and my food was undercooked, right? So it's kind of a version of doing a soft opening in exchange for a testimonial, but give them an example to show, what you find is great. And tell them what, you would really appreciate having included in it. So that's going to get you better testimonials, number 1. So do that, take away immediately. But the real thing is this. You become well known as a coach. It does take time. So number one, you've got to give yourself some patience. It takes time. You don't just come out of the gate and now you're 6 months in, 8 months in, and all of a sudden you're all the rage. Unless you have already been perfecting or working on your coaching, your educating, your teaching skills somewhere else, right? Maybe you were a school teacher. Maybe you were I work with quite a few healthcare professionals that were, associate professors at universities. So they've had experience already teaching, which, like I said in the beginning, that's what coaching is, right? Is a big part of its teaching. Maybe you've homeschooled your kids, right? So there's other ways you could have perfected this. I for sure can tell you this in my volunteer work, that has absolutely, without a doubt, been one of the biggest things that has up-leveled my coaching. And I can see how my coaching is even up-leveled from last year, from the year before, because I continue to work on myself and I continue to grow. And I also continue to work with different people. So if you're always, yes, we go after a certain ideal client, right? Because I teach you guys, you got a niche to get rich, right? But there's so many variations of that ideal client. So many. There's different nationalities, ethnicities. People are from all different countries, different backgrounds, different childhoods, different struggles, different insecurities, different sticking points, different strengths, right? So when you work over time with more and more people, you're going to get challenged as a coach, as a teacher, and it's going to have you build that muscle and learn how to customize and tweak and refine your methods when you're being able to work with different people. So the difference between a coach that is #basic. So you're a beginner, right? You're really a beginner. I like using the analogy of a fitness coach, like a fitness trainer. At my gym, Equinox, which hasn't been open for most of 2020. Thank you. It's closed again here in California. It was open shortly, but in order to go, you had to make an appointment and wear a mask and gloves while working out. No, thank you. All right. So they have different tiers of personal trainers, of fitness trainers. It's I think it's tier 1 through 5. So tier 1, you get a basic entry-level trainer. That doesn't mean that trainer isn't good, and that trainer is at a low price point. But is that trainer going to get you the absolute best results and the fastest and be able to hold that emotional space and motivate you the best? Highly doubtful. And I've had trainers pretty much my entire life, from being someone who's been an athlete and an exercise addict. So I've trained with all levels. And I can tell you this, some people truly, I guess, you can't afford it, or you can't figure out a way to afford it. So you go with that entry-level trainer, or maybe you're brand new to working out. And someone who knows just the basics, that might be good enough. I have this mentality. I go straight to the top. I want the best of the best. That's my mentality. Number one, I deserve the best. Number two, the best always has more experience, has worked with more people. In this example, more body types, more personality types, more injuries. So they know the nuances in order to get the best out of you. And that's really no different between being a, highly respected top coach who generates great results. The nuances and working with different people's personalities, mindsets, blocks. You're able to see them faster. You're able to have a plan for them to navigate them easier and quicker. And that's what you're paying for, right? With a coach, with working with a top coach, you're paying that higher price tag. You're paying multiple thousands of dollars for them to save you 5 times that, and for them to make you 10 times, 15 times that, and for shaving off time. So the reason that I didn't, when I finally was, not in so much self-will, 5 years into my first business and hired my first business coach. Number one, I didn't know they existed. I thought those were only available for like celebrities and like, you know, like elite athletes. It wasn't really a thing. It was a thing, but it was kind of like underground. And I hired someone who was making it was worth $100 million, multiple businesses. I mean, could have been my father, you know, in terms of age, right? Highly educated. I mean, the education part really didn't matter that much to me. It was more so the experience. Someone who I felt I would respect and could hear and had a style, had a coaching style, a teaching style that jived with me, and someone who I enjoyed, right? Even spending time with, because you're going to spend a lot of time with this person. Could I have gone and said, you know what? I mean, by the way, he's $10,000 a month. So I could have gone, oh my God, $10,000 a month. Like I mean, God, I would rather keep that money, which is what a lot of people think, like, especially when, and I was at like I would say $200,000 to $300,000 a year. So it's not like I was broke. I was making some legit cash on my own. I was killing myself and miserable, but I was making that cash. But I still was like, well, $10,000 a month. Like Mama would rather have that in her pocket. Like I could get another Louis Vuitton bag or whatever. You know, that could be like some crazy ass, like nice house, you know, mortgage. And I really had to go, yeah, but what's the alternative? What I've been doing isn't working. Yes, I'm generating money, but not the kind of money I want to be generating 5 years in. And I'm freaking miserable and I'm killing myself to get it, in which almost every day I'm going, I should just quit all this and go back to corporate America because that was a lot easier. So what do I want to do? I already waited 5 damn years. I already waited several years too long before getting help. So how much longer do I want to wait? Do I want to go search out someone who has nowhere near the experience, you know, life experience, business experience, hasn't made, you know, enough mistakes yet for me to be able to learn from those mistakes? And I could have probably found someone that was, let's say, $2,000 a month. But would that have really shaved off the time and had gotten me where I wanted to go as fast as I wanted to go, and someone who could work with my stubborn ass mind and uncover these blocks that were so subconscious that I couldn't see them, not even my therapist could see them? No, it wouldn't have. So I wanted to be the best. I wanted the best. So therefore we have to take action on getting the best. But I don't mean just take action and like hiring a coach in order to be the best. That's one thing. But it's also, I was willing to do the work to be the highly respected coach, to be the coach who generates great results for my clients. I was willing to do the work, the uncomfortable, icky inner work that takes discipline and is tedious and uncomfortable. I was willing to do things that I was terrified to do in order to get to where I wanted to go, because I was so uncomfortable where I was at that I was one meltdown basically away from quitting. And I'm not someone who quits easily. In fact, there's a lot of things that I should quit for real quit much sooner. Like I should let go is a better term. I should let go of sooner. And I'm so stubborn and bullheaded sometimes that I just keep going with it and keep going with it. Right. But if you guys saw what I was doing to make that money, I mean, there's very few people who would do it. And I'm not saying that like superiority or grandiosity. I'm saying I was damn near insane. I was totally insane. And there were beliefs below that. So in order for you to be a coach who generates those results and you continue to get better, you have to have the humility to know that you need someone to help guide you into up-leveling your greatness and up-leveling your greatness. You have to be willing to fucking invest in it and put your money where your mouth is. If you are not willing to invest in yourself, the most important asset in your business, and quite frankly, in your life, whether you're an employee, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't matter. You're the most important asset in your life. If you are not willing to invest real cash that makes you kind of squirm and be scared and uncomfortable, then why would anyone invest in you? They're not going to. Because you're not believing in yourself enough. You're not believing it'll work. You're not believing it will follow through. You're not believing that in up-leveling yourself and having that guidance from someone who has the wisdom and more time on earth than you and has been there and done that, you're not seeing the value of that being worth it, of shaving off all this damn time and having you, so to speak. That is a shortcut. You know, they say there's no shortcuts in life. Bullshit. Who the fuck said that, by the way? Sorry, I don't know why I'm starting to apologize for swearing. I'm trying to not swear as much. But you know what? Fuck it. Love you guys. But when they say there's no shortcuts in life, that's some crackers stuff to say. I'm thinking right now, there is this fantastic shortcut by my house to get from here to my nail salon, which is also now closed again, by the way. Thank you. But I mean, it shaves off. I'm not even kidding you. It's like 7 to 10 minutes a time. That's a freaking shortcut. That's real. And it's not something that shows up on Waze. You either had to make a mistake or a local would have to share it with you. That's a short. There are shortcuts in life. Taking the easy way out and phoning stuff in, as I like to say, that doesn't work, right? But there are absolute shortcuts, but you have to ask for guidance to get the shortcuts. You have to pay for the shortcuts. That's what you should be doing as a coach, a teacher, a mentor. You're helping people navigate life and making it easier, getting to where they want to go faster, clearer, getting results easier, getting results faster than they would have on their own. Absolutely. That is what you're paying for. And if you don't believe you're worth getting those results faster, if you don't believe that someone else can help you improve your skill set, can help you get higher level clients, can help you make consistent cash, can help you have more energy, can help you regulate your hormones, can help you navigate divorce. I could go on and on. If you don't believe that, well, we've got a big problem here. Then you really need a coach. Because you're your most important asset. So if you're not willing to invest in yourself and your growth consistently, I don't mean a one-time deal, consistently, I would never hire you as a coach myself. That is like one of the first things I need to see when hiring a coach is I need to know that they have coaches in their life. I need to see what are they continuing to do. And I don't give a shit if they're like Insta famous or if I even know them, or I have a really strong referral from a friend who got great results. I need to see for myself that person is continuing to invest in themselves and that they have a coach. So for all of my therapists who listen, I have a lot of therapists on the show who listen. All my therapists, you guys know, in the therapy world, I can only speak for what I know from the US. You have to actually go and have a therapist you see. You have to have your own check-ins. That's part of the ethics. That's part of the rules in being a licensed therapist. Meaning you have to have someone who's keeping you in check and balance. You can't just go rogue, right? And you need to have someone to talk to because all sorts of shit comes up when you're holding space for people, and you need somewhere to go work through it. So I would never work with a therapist who wasn't seeing a therapist themselves. So I want you guys to have an honest conversation with yourself. Where are you getting your guidance from to continue to check yourself and to continue up-leveling your skill set? The most respected coaches, most respected teachers, the ones who get the best results, and I'm tooting my own horn here. I mean, I know where I'm at in terms of like the business coaching world. I'm definitely have earned the top business coach title, but that doesn't mean I think I'm like done and I don't need to learn more and I don't need to do more and there aren't things that I can continue to improve upon. I'd be very concerned about that. The reason is because I continue to do the work on myself. I practice what I preach. I stay in integrity, and I know there's always more to learn, and I'm humble enough. I'm humble. I learn from my clients. I had one of my clients coach me the other day, and I wasn't like, oh God, I can't have one of my own clients coach me. That's going to make me look like, I'm not the authority. I'm not the expert, blah, blah, blah. Are you kidding me? I freaking love you guys. I learned so much from you guys. Anyone who's a parent, anyone who works with kids, who works with teens, who's a teacher, you learn from those very people you're teaching. You learn so much. They're often a mirror. And so I love learning from all of you guys too. I think it's wonderful. But if you're not humble enough to be willing to learn even from your students, to learn from your clients, to get triggered by some of the stuff that happens and have someone to work through it with, you are not going to get to that high level coach status who's bringing in multiple 6 figures, multiple 7 figures, speaking on stages, where you're really not having to work to get people to apply to work with you. People are lining up to work with you and you have a wait list, right? Speaking of which, I'm still taking summer applications right now for my private 2-month coaching. I've actually never taken summer applications before. The reason I'm doing it this summer is because of what is all going on in the world. There's so many of you who weren't able to get in with me when the whole COVID quarantine thing first happened, even though I opened up 2 additional spots. The wait list became so long. So that's why I'm opening up summer spots for the first time. They are going to go fast. So you want to apply to work with me. The best place to go to apply is projectmewithtiffany.com/work with me. projectmewithtiffany.com/work with me. You can also DM me and ask for the application and I'll drop it in the DMs. So my Instagram's at projectmewithtiffany. Again, Instagram's at projectmewithtiffany. But I encourage you guys to ask yourselves, what can I do to up level my skill set? When it comes, whatever it is, I don't care if you work for someone else, you make jewelry, you have an online store, you're wanting to start a business, you're in network marketing. I don't care what it is. I want you to ask yourself, what is something I can do to further elevate my skill set? Is it buying a course on something that you're really actually going to take and not just say you're going to take? I want it to be more than a book. I think it's great. I love reading. I love sharing my favorite books. I think that's important. Of course, I think listening to podcasts, especially this one, are important. But I need you to put your money where your mouth is. And I don't give a shit what you're making. In fact, if you're not making shit, if you're making crap money, then you really, really need to invest. Because that's going to get you to be accountable, uncomfortable, and make you go for the damn thing. If I didn't pay my coach a heavy sum that was heavy to me, it's all relative, right? Like $10,000 a month is a noticeable AF to me. There's other people I know where it's noticeable, but it wouldn't make them uncomfortable, right? There's some people where $1,000 a month would be really uncomfortable. It has to be an amount where you're like, I am really going to take this seriously. This is no joke. I need to make sure that like I get the return on my investment and I go all in. It needs to be that amount in order for you to be accountable, for you to show up, for you to have that kind of energy, for you to take it seriously. Otherwise, you'll end up, your own ego, your own limiting beliefs will end up having you play smaller Even if you think you're playing big, you're playing smaller. So I'll leave you with an analogy. I played tennis in high school. I played some in college, but let's be real. I was more interested in, other extracurriculars in college. But in tennis, which I am taking up again, they have you playing against someone who's a little better than you. Because when you play against someone who's a little better than you, you really step it up, because you're like, otherwise you're just going to get creamed, and no one wants to get creamed, right? So you're going to step it up. Did my ego prefer to play against, like when I was did I ever make varsity? I don't know. Anyone who went to high school with me, remind me. I think I did, finally, my senior year. So when I was like playing like varsity singles, for example, did it feel a lot better to my ego to play someone who was, junior varsity, because I was better than them and it was easier? And in my mindset goes like, likely I'm going to win, right? Of course it did. Did that improve my game at all? Absolutely not. I hated it. I dreaded it. In fact, I hated hitting. I hope you're listening, Ban. My best friend from high school, she's like one of those people that's just like amazing at every sport. I loved her. She's my best friend. I like dreaded hitting against her because she's so good. And I knew going in, the likelihood of me losing was very high. And I knew I was going to have to work my ass off for any shot that I got. But it made me better. So I'm using that analogy because we have to do things that we don't like, that are uncomfortable, that are scary, in order to up our own game. If we stay what's comfortable, things that make us feel like, oh, I know my shit, I'm good, or where you scroll online and you're like, I know I'm better than her. Oh my God, that girl's no idea what she's talking about. I'm way better, right? You do stuff like that. That's not how you end up becoming a highly respected coach who gets great results for their clients. So I hope you guys really got some strong food for thought for this episode. It was a loving kick in the ass. I always tell you what I wish someone told me in a clear and direct way, cutting out the fluff, because that's the only way I would have heard it. I never had anyone tell me this stuff. Never. I didn't really start hearing a lot of this until I hired a coach, but my God, that took me 5 years. And many meltdowns, tons of stress. I got like my first gray hair at 30 because of the stress. I would have rather someone told me this stuff early on from someone who I could respect and trust, who wasn't blowing smoke up my ass or wasn't sharing it for self-serving reasons, was genuinely sharing it because they know and they care and they want the best for me. I can tell you right now, I would have taken different action. I would have saved myself a ton of time, energy, anguish, stress, money, if that had happened. So that's always my goal for you guys. So this is a loving kick in the ass, but get honest with yourself today and go, okay, what can I do? What can I do that's going to make me uncomfortable, that's going to keep me accountable and up-level my game? What is that? What is that? And I need to just say F it, and I need to do it. If I really want to go where I say I want to go in all this, and I really want to help who I say I want to help in all this, it's time for me to take real action. Because if you're comfortable at all, or another way to put it is, if you're not totally uncomfortable and squeamish and shitting, so to speak, you're not in that growth zone, and you need to be in that growth zone. God, would I love to just feel comfortable all the time. That sounds nice, but that's certainly not what's gotten me here today with millions in the bank. And I think you guys want to have the cash, and I know you guys want to have the impact. So I'm telling you what it takes to get there. It's not always the easy answer. It's not always pretty, but guess what? You want to have that level of success. You do have to do things that 99% of people aren't willing to do. And you might not be willing to do it. And that's okay too. That's okay too. But don't be bitching you don't have what you want to have, or, be down about not having what you want to have if you're not willing to do what highly successful people are telling you and strongly encouraging you to do. It's because that's now you're crazy. Now you're a victim. If you guys love this episode, go leave a 5-star written iTunes review and make sure you put your name or your Instagram handle in the review. Then DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. Let me know you left the review so I can just check it. And I would love, out of gratitude, to treat you to a coffee drink of your choice or a smoothie of your choice for taking that 90 seconds and showing your appreciation for the show. Those reviews are what keep us going. Myself, my producer, my coordinator, on those days where we are tired and don't feel like doing it, or when things go wrong and we have to spend extra money we didn't think of having that we needed to spend on the show. It really keeps us growing. It makes my heart totally full. And I would really appreciate you guys showing your gratitude. And of course, in return, I want to show mine. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.